Viking culture and rituals, often shrouded in mystery and intrigue, serve as a fascinating gateway into the broader understanding of Norse civilization. Known for their seafaring prowess, the Vikings lived in Scandinavian regions between the 8th and 11th centuries, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate historians and the general public alike. Central to their cultural identity was their system of rituals and beliefs, intricately woven into their daily lives and societal structures. These rituals not only offered guidance and support in dealing with the uncertainties of life, but also played a crucial role in solidifying community bonds and affirming social hierarchies. The significance of understanding Viking rituals lies in their ability to provide insight into the mindset and values of these ancient people. For instance, the rites of passage, such as the coming-of-age ceremony, were pivotal in Viking society. These ceremonies, often marked by symbolic acts and trials, were designed to transition youths into adulthood, thereby reinforcing their roles within the community. Another example is the elaborate burial rituals practiced by the Vikings, which often included grave goods, ship burials, and sometimes human sacrifices, reflecting their beliefs in the afterlife and the importance they placed on honoring the deceased. Scholars and enthusiasts who explore Viking rituals often emphasize their complexity and symbolic nature. The rituals were not merely superstitious practices, but were deeply interconnected with Viking mythology and their understanding of the world. However, challenges arise when interpreting these ancient customs. Much of what we know is gleaned from archaeological finds, the sagas, and writings by external sources, such as Christian missionaries, who might have held biased views. Controversies often stem from the more macabre aspects of Viking rituals, such as alleged human sacrifices. Some researchers argue that these accounts are exaggerated or misunderstood, pointing to a lack of concrete evidence. Alternatively, some defend these interpretations as accurate reflections of a society shaped by harsh environmental and social conditions, where such practices might have been deemed necessary. Understanding Viking rituals provides a window into their dark beliefs, which in turn influences our exploration of their enigmatic world. It helps unravel the Vikings' perception of life, death, and the cosmos, laying the groundwork for deeper analysis of their mythology, social structure, and eventual transformation as they interacted with other cultures. This exploration of Viking culture invites us to reflect on how rituals, even those deemed dark or primitive, shape societies and persist in memory through the ages. The origins and development of Viking beliefs are deeply rooted in the Norse mythology and pagan traditions that proliferated during the Viking Age, from the late 8th to the early 11th century. These beliefs were a complex tapestry of myths, gods, and supernatural elements, primarily centered around the Norse pantheon, including gods like Odin, Thor, and Freyr. As an animistic and polytheistic system, the Viking belief system was characterized by stories of creation, heroes, and an afterlife that hung in a delicate balance between the mystical realms of Asgard and the terrifying depths of the underworld, Hell. Understanding the origins and development of Viking beliefs is crucial to deciphering the enigmatic rituals and dark beliefs inherent in their culture. These beliefs dictated many aspects of daily life and governed social structures, legal systems, and even maritime explorations. Their rituals, often marked by sacrifices and ceremonies, were designed to appease deities and invoke their favor for activities such as farming, trading, and raiding. Specific examples include the burial rituals, where the dead were often interred with possessions and even sacrificed servants or animals, believed to aid them in the afterlife. The Oseberg ship burial for a high-status woman illustrates the grandeur and complexity of these rites. Another example is the ritual of blot, where offerings, including animal sacrifices, were made to gods to ensure prosperity and protection. These practices illustrate how deeply entwined their beliefs were with their daily existence and cultural identity. Notably, contemporary scholars argue that Viking beliefs were not static. They evolved as Vikings made contact with other cultures through trade, conquest, and settlement. The eventual Christianization of Scandinavia introduced significant shifts, leading to the blending and eventual suppression of pagan practices. However, the violent and superstitious reputation of some Viking rituals has sparked controversy and debate. Critics argue that accounts, often written by Christian monks, could have exaggerated these elements to portray pagans negatively. This brings forth alternative perspectives that suggest Viking rituals were, at their core, no more brutal than those of other ancient cultures. The exploration of the origins and development of Viking beliefs is essential as it connects directly to the main topic by offering insights into the rationale behind the enigmatic and often dark rituals of the Vikings. These beliefs influenced everything from social interactions to artistic expressions, and laid a foundation that persisted even as religious paradigms shifted. Understanding these origins helps paint a fuller picture of Viking society, revealing a culture as complex and multifaceted as the myths they revered. The heading Important Deities and Supernatural Beings introduces one of the central pillars of Viking culture, deeply intertwined with their enigmatic rituals and dark beliefs. In Norse mythology, deities and supernatural beings form the backbone of the spiritual and religious life of the Vikings, influencing their daily activities, warfare, and even their understanding of the afterlife. These powerful figures played significant roles in Viking rituals, with deities and myths acting as key components in ceremonies intended to seek favor, ward off misfortune, or ensure a glorious passage into the afterlife. Among the most significant deities in Norse mythology are Odin and Thor. Odin, the All-Father, is not only a god of war and death, but also wisdom and poetry, symbolizing the multifaceted nature of Viking belief. He was often invoked for victory in battle or deeper understanding of the world's mysteries. Thor, the thunder god, was revered for his strength and protection against chaos, a crucial figure ensuring the safety of both gods and humans from the giants. These deities were often central to rites designed to ensure protection and prosperity. The importance of these figures in Viking rituals reflects the culture's complex relationship with fate and destiny. They highlight a belief system in which humans sought to influence and understand their world through engagement with the divine. For instance, rituals involving the sacrifice of animals or even humans were conducted to honor these deities and secure their blessings, illustrating the dark and enigmatic aspects of their beliefs. Opinions on the Vikings' veneration of these beings often regard them as a reflection of the society's values, courage, honor, and the quest for knowledge. However, there are controversies surrounding the brutality often associated with these rituals, raising ethical questions by today's standards. Some argue these practices were primarily symbolic rather than literal, aiming only to convey a connection between the material and supernatural worlds. The belief in these deities also intertwines with Viking views on the afterlife, influencing concepts like Valhalla or Helheim, realms governed by these and other supernatural beings. These views shaped not only their rituals but the entire afterlife mythos, dictating how warriors perceive death and glory, thus driving their actions in life. The exploration of these deities and supernatural beings unfolds layers of complexity in Viking rituals, revealing a civilization where spirituality and reality coexisted in a fascinating but often dark dance of reverence and fear. This aspect of their culture offers a profound insight into the enigmatic nature of the Viking world, providing a vivid tapestry where myth reciprocally influences belief and action. Ritual practices in Viking society are deeply embedded in their culture and worldview, reflecting a unique blend of pagan religion, Norse mythology, and daily life. These rituals were crucial in connecting the physical and spiritual realms, ensuring a cohesive society that functioned under a shared belief system. For the Vikings, rituals were not only ways to honor the gods, but also mechanisms to influence fate, seek protection, and ensure prosperity. The significance of these rituals in understanding the enigmatic Viking rituals and their dark beliefs is profound, as they provide insight into how the Vikings understood the world around them and their place within it. One notable example of Viking ritual practices is the blot, a sacrifice to the gods that involved offering animals, and on rarer occasions humans, to gain favor or give thanks. These sacrificial ceremonies were pivotal during significant events, like the change of seasons or preparation for battles. Another example is the ship burial, where the dead were placed in ships surrounded by valuable goods, symbolizing their journey to the afterlife and reflecting their status. These practices underscore the Vikings' belief in a life beyond death, and a structured cosmos dominated by divine entities. Some scholars and enthusiasts argue that these rituals showcase the Vikings' deep connection with nature and their sophisticated spiritual understanding, emphasizing the role of faith in Viking society beyond mere superstition. However, these rituals also invite controversy and alternative viewpoints. The myth of the Vikings as overly violent and barbaric is partly propagated by the accounts of human sacrifices, often exaggerated by contemporary sources. Recent archaeological findings suggest a more nuanced picture, where community gatherings and religious feasts sometimes overshadowed the more brutal sacrifices. Understanding Viking ritual practices sheds light on other aspects of their society, such as their legal system and social hierarchy. The same beliefs that governed ritual practices influenced their judicial proceedings and societal roles, offering a robust framework that kept their large communities organized and resilient. Moreover, the rituals intersect with Viking mythology, enriching tales of gods and heroes, which in turn shaped their cultural identity and legacy. In essence, the ritual practices of the Vikings illustrate a society deeply invested in the supernatural and the reverent, but simultaneously grounded in the harsh realities of their environment. These practices are a key to unraveling the mysteries behind Viking dark beliefs and understanding their world.